Everywhere in the world I go, people ask me, so what grape variety grows really well in India? Has the Indian terroir discovered the grape variety that thrives on the soils? And I always say the one grape variety that does really well on Indian soils is Sauvignon Blanc. Yes, my friends, it is Sauvignon Blanc that actually grows in India and on our soils finds its own unique expression and also has certain world-class attributes which are comparable to Sauvignon Blancs that come from South Africa or Chile, or sometimes when they are very, very good, even as good as the ones that you get coming from New Zealand. So I'm about to try actually a really exciting Sauvignon Blanc today. It's called the Source. And the Source is the premium wines coming from Sula. Sula needs no introduction. We all know that Sula is the Indian wine producer who's leading by a 60% market share. They make almost 1 million cases of wine. So the Source represents their premium wines, and you can tell from the use of the word reserve on the label. So this is the Source Sauvignon Blanc Reserve. And I'm about to try a 2019 vintage, so it's a really young wine. And why is it called a Source? It's called a Source because it's actually made at a winery which is one of the oldest wineries in the Sula establishment. So this is where the story of Sula started. What also makes Sauvignon Blanc Reserve slightly premium is that they claim that the grapefruit that comes into making of the wines comes from parcels of land or from vineyards that are owned by the Sula Vines. This bottle Source again has a lovely screw top, so really very easy to open and no need to have a corkscrew at home. And I'm going to pour myself a little glass of this. Even as I pour, I can see that the color of this wine is almost got a gold tint in it. It's lemon straw colored, but it's got this lovely attractive gold tints, which kind of leads me to think that perhaps there's some use of oak on the wine. As I take sniffs, it's really an attractive ripe nose. When they make the Source Sauvignon Blanc Reserve, the Sula team at the vineyards likes to pick the grapes slightly later. When you pick grapes slightly later, you end up getting riper, more stone fruit, tropical fruit character, which is very, very evident by the aromas of the peaches, melons, a little bit of lychee, mangoes, some hint of spice coming through. So it's a really broad, generous, ripe nose. Let's take a quick sip and see what it's like on the palate. This is a really smooth, easy drinking wine. Unlike other Sauvignon Blancs that actually may sometimes have very herbaceous, grassy, and even leaning towards pungent characters, the fruit quality in this wine is really very ripe, rich, and round. So as a result, this is a riper style of Sauvignon Blanc, and it therefore has much softer edges. The acidity is not too sharp. It's got some mouthfeel as well, which I think is coming from the oak, the oak touch. There's that hint of sweetness, and when I talk about sweetness, it's the sweetness of the fruit and it's not the sweetness of the wine. Unlike the entry-level Sula Sauvignon Blanc, which is at a lower price point, which tends to be slightly on the sweeter side, this particular wine is not as sweet on the palate. It's actually more ripe on the palate, which is exactly how some wines should be, or how consumers like certain wines. So I'm actually preferring this character, which is much more finer. It's kind of a more elegant version and a different way of making a Sauvignon Blanc, because I'm not sure I always enjoy the herbaceous, pungent styles. Sometimes it's kind of nice to have a richer, riper, and a rounder sort of a version or expression of a Sauvignon Blanc, which this wine is. In terms of personality, it's a lovely, expressive, happy, youthful wine. It would, because it's soft and round, it would be very compatible with a wide range of foods. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that you should actually try this wine at home with your home cooked meals, whatever it is that you eat at home, even if it's some kind of lentil, dal, rice, vegetables, tossed vegetables, a bit of Chinese maybe, a little bit of Asian, any kind of food flavors that you make, any creamy dishes, any smoky dishes, whatever it is that you make at home, this will work really well with simple home cooked food. In terms of price point, it is, let's have a look at what the price is. It says here that it is for $11.50, so slightly on the premium side, but as I said, the Source is the premium range of wines from Sula Vineyards, and it's kind of a really smart packaging. I think it still has a screw top, so it's super convenient, and I would, I think I'm going to enjoy a glass of this wine tonight with the food that's been cooked in my kitchen. So I hope you'll give this wine a quick try as well, and drop me some comments on what you thought of this video, and also after you've had a glass of this wine, what you think of the wine itself. Cheers for now.